It was a very complex issue that they had to deal with, and they were dealing with it in the context of a fairly specific discussion paper. So that was a challenge in itself, of how do you kind of get them to have enough information that they feel comfortable talking about the big issues of energy vulnerability and climate change, but at the same time able to really think about what was being proposed in the discussion paper.
We didn't go at it like, okay, it's day one and now we want to know, what you think about this. We started in a way, said this is a journey. Some of you are very knowledgeable about this, some of you aren't. So we're going to have an opportunity to learn together about the critical things you need to know, not to become a technical expert, but to know enough to be able to give reasoned, good public judgment.
Not only do people come into the room from very different places, but they're still in very different places in terms of belief in climate change, in terms of belief in the urgency of change. And yet, if today's any basis for judgment, there is really some convergence around a lot of recommendations, notwithstanding that difference.
I think what the panel did a really good job of was coming up with, I guess, different angles to look at every recommendation. So even if you weren't that concerned about the environmental aspects of it, there were still things that would appeal to you, and I don't think they were minor either. There were very, very real, financial and other benefits to the recommendations that we were making.
I came in and there was a few others that were like-minded, that we didn't believe the science of climate change. But in the process, and one of the things we did agree on, is that doesn't mean that the city shouldn't move forward with being smart about energy.
Well, the citizen panel's big picture recommendation is basically that we recommend the city takes the necessary measures to become a low carbon city by the year 2050. And also that we basically support the 6 recommendations and the goals and the actions proposed in the city's energy transition paper.
For me, it's about quality of life, and I think that if you're supporting the innovations of future technologies, you're really rolling with the changes that are naturally going to take place in any society, and that you can improve quality of life by creating more jobs and protecting us from market volatility. And for me, I think that the environmental impacts that we can make, even in small amounts, is better to take some step than no step at all.
There was recognition amongst the panel that there will be some costs associated with any recommendations, but I think the sentiment was pretty much in agreement from the whole group that these costs are necessary, and by making some investments in the next maybe 10-5 years, that will pay off dividends quite considerably in the longer term.
And a lot of the participants are really excited about continuing to be involved and continuing to use the skills and knowledge they learn, so I think that's a great resource for the city as well.
The one thing I'd like to say to the council and the administrators is the important thing is that you have citizens that are willing to be a part of the process. Some people don't want to be councillors or things like that, but they still want to be a part of the process.
Start now. Start hard, start now, and no half measures.
This is the long-term issue, that the results will come in long-term, and those are for the future generations.
It's a pulse of the city. They took a broad range of the citizens and have all the opinions included in the rooms, and this is something that we've all agreed on. So it's obviously the next step.
Important parts of a citizen panel is its representative character, so that the city administrators and councillors can be confident that if a much, much larger group of citizens came together and were given the same opportunities for deliberating and carefully thinking through recommendations, that they would come to the same conclusions as a small group.
I think that there was a lot of integrity through this process. The Citizens Panel met with a very disparate group of people. We wrestled with these issues. We really went through a good process. So I hope that our report is well respected. It doesn't have ideology or politics attached to it. It really is just the sentiment of a wide range of citizens. And we think these are really important issues, and we're hoping that you show good leadership on this issue and that we make some positive changes for the future.